Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Ink Influence. I am Divya Gupta, a chartered accountant by profession, but most importantly, a reader plus a poet. Today, this video is a very special video. Today is 31st March 2024. We are already 3 months into this year, and I am thrilled, beyond excited to tell that I have already read 12 books so far. Today, we don't review books, we don't do poetry, and we don't test our knowledge of words. We talk about books, simply books. Today, I will talk about my experience and what I honestly felt about each of the 12 books that I have read so far. Let's go. Before we proceed ahead with the video, I would like to drop down a small disclaimer. I am just talking about the 12 books that I have read in these 3 months. I am not ranking them, I am not rating them, and this is not a book review. It is just a honest discussion about the 12 books that I have read, and I am taking those 12 books in a random order. Now, the 12 books that I'll be talking about are on various genres like murder mystery, romance, dark romance, mythology. Okay, so this was the information that was required before we proceed further in the video. Enjoy. So, the first book that we talk about is Shakuni, The Master of Game by Ashutosh Natkar. This book is a pure work of art. This book is brave. Why? I'll tell you. Because this book challenges the preconceived notions that you and me have lived so far. I mean, whenever we talk about Mahabharata, we have always hated Shakuni. We have always regarded him as the wittiest villain. I mean, something bad happens in Mahabharata, blame Shakuni. Pandavas didn't get their kingdom, blame Shakuni. Unfortunate events happened with Draupadi, blame Shakuni. Karn didn't get recognition, blame Shakuni. I mean, we have always blamed Shakuni. But did we ever think why a particular thing Shakuni did? If not, this book gives you enough reasons and elaborately explains every single act of Shakuni. This book challenges what you and me have very conveniently accepted against Shakuni. This book is brave and is par excellent. I would recommend this book for all the mythic genre lovers. And even if you have not read anything about mythology, read this book. I am sure you will develop an interest for this genre. This book, Shakuni, The Master of Game by Ashutosh Natkar, deserves a full-fledged long book review video which would be out on my channel soon. This book is par excellent. I have loved this book completely. I mean, I was awestruck when I completed this book because I was like, damn, I have believed something for over 25 years, and all of a sudden, after a week of reading this book, you are just awestruck because you are just clueless, man. What just happened? It is a very beautifully written book, and do read it. Do read it. It is a good book. It is available on Amazon. Okay, for the second book, we talk about something in the romantic genre. I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Now, I am not a romantic genre fan because I somehow believe that the romantic genre follows a very similar kind of terrain, and finding originality of the author in that familiar terrain is very difficult. So basically, why did I read Icebreaker? Instagram made me read it. Yes. The book community on Instagram is gaga over this book. So I wanted to try something romantic, so I read it. So basically, Icebreaker is a college romance story between a girl who is into ice figure skating and intends to go to Olympics, whereas the guy is the captain of the ice hockey team. Both are arch rivals, and somehow they develop feelings for each other and fall in love. Basically, the book starts on a very good note, and the plot is good, it is pacey. Eventually, as I was moving ahead in the story, it loses pace, it loses plot, and it was this close. Guys, literally this close on losing me. I was literally about to shift this book in my DNF list, which is did not finish. But I somehow was just so curious to know that how did these two end up together. I completed this book. Basically, the end is a happy ending book, okay. But somewhere or the other, I somehow felt there is no originality in the book, and it has just lost the plot. So even though Instagram made me read it, I think I maybe hyped the book a lot because I was reading all praises for this book on Instagram. So maybe my hype was this and the book was here. If I didn't have the hype, I think the book might have delivered. Might have. Not sure. But I read something in the romantic genre, a third book, which is Finally Forever by Karin Beery. And I would recommend this over Icebreakers. So basically, Finally Forever, a little history of this book. This book released on 28th Feb 2024. I read it in a single day. And on 29th Feb 2024, there is a book review on this book on my Insta page. The Insta handle is here. Please check it out. It is a very beautiful book. Now remember, I was talking about the originality in the romantic genre. This book, even though it follows the romantic terrain, the familiar romantic terrain that I was talking about earlier, the author Karin has injected her originality. Now I'll tell you what. This story is about obviously a romantic story between a girl and a boy. The girl is first elder to the guy. The girl has no time for love or romance because the girl has actually given a lot of chances to love in her life and she has failed miserably. Her marriage has been called off, so she is dead scared of the concept love. Whereas the guy has never ever fallen in love, and this is the first time he falls in love. It's not only about falling in love, it is also about sustaining love. And when a guy wants to sustain love, wants to give his girl her own space, does not want to overburden her with his emotions, it is beautiful to read. It is the mature kind of love that is just so delightful to read. So if you want to read something in the romantic genre, something more like a mature love story, read Finally Forever by Karin Beery. It is beautiful. It is available on Amazon. You can read it on Kindle as well. I read it on Kindle. It is fun read, very nice read. I read it in a day, so it is that engaging. Okay, before we talk about my next book, I have to make it very clear. I was never a Chetan Bhagat fan. Never. But the fourth book that we talk about today made me change my opinion. We are talking about The Girl in Room Number 105 by Chetan Bhagat. I read this book because my friend recommended it. Now, when my friend told me, no, you have to read Divya, you have to read this book, I was like, oh, I don't read Chetan Bhagat. Why he romantic book? He was like, no, this is not a romantic book. And I was like a little skeptical, but then I read it. First of all, I'm very happy that this is not a clickbait, this is not a romantic book. In fact, it is not about loving someone. The story is about unloving someone. And parallel to that runs a murder mystery story. Amazing it is. It is amazing. I have never ever read anything so engaging and so new from Chetan Bhagat. It is basically a guy likes a girl. The girl eventually they date. But the girl eventually realizes no, he's not the one, and breaks up with him and starts dating someone else. Eventually, one fine night, the girl connects with the guy, her ex, and calls her to her hostel room, which is 105. When the guy reaches the hostel room, I'm not saying this, I'm not giving you spoilers. You have to read this. It is a very nice book, very well written, no loose ends, very well summarized, and it even touches some religious aspects, some political aspects. So it has a lot of things to offer. So a very rare and a very new writing piece from Chetan Bhagat. Absolutely loved it, and this actually made me regain my trust and faith on Chetan Bhagat, and I think I might consider reading other books from him as well. If you have read any book from Chetan Bhagat, do comment below. I would love to read. Tell me, who doesn't want to read about a book that has a Dawn, okay, that has Bollywood actors, actresses, Bollywood masala, Bollywood drama involved, that has a rock band involved, that has a heartbreak, that has the Mumbai showbiz world involved? Everything involved in one book. Yes, that is the fifth book that we talk about, Superstar by Joy Gopal Poddar. Basically, this book is first of all very pacey. Okay, it is like somewhat around 190 pages book, and I told about so many things. Okay, so many things run parallelly in about a 190 page book. So it's very pacey. You are just on the edge of your seat because it is just so pacey. So basically, it is engaging. Yes, it is new, and it is a fun read. Why, I'll tell you, because I mean, it is always pleasant to read a story set in India, that to Mumbai. So you get references like Juhu Beach. You get Indian names like Malika Khanna, Vikram Kapoor, Deep. Then we had Rakesh Mahajan. So you get such Indian names. You get an Indian setting. So it is a very different fun read, a quick read, because just around 180-190 pages, so it is a quick read. I have tried this author for the first time. Again, my friend had recommended it, so I tried the book. It is a good read. I am genuinely happy about it. It is pacey, which is what I like. It has not been dragged, no drama, nothing. And it has this, sauciness that we love to read about Bollywood, right? That something about the seduction thing that happens to get the movies, the blackmailing thing. So it is that also, and it has a twist. Now the thing that a little disappointed me was the end, the plot conclusion. That was a little disappointment, because I mean, come on, now we have lived for about 180 pages not to just read the fight between the villain and the hero for just a page. I mean, it should go a little more, थोड़ा और हीरो मारे, थोड़ा और विलन मारे, थोड़ा तो इतना तो एक्शन हो. I mean, come on, it is Bollywood, there has to be a little action. So that was just a little disappointed that the conclusion was a little hurried, I felt, honestly. Other than that, this book is good, very pacey, loved it. Okay, let's talk about murder mystery genre. We talk about the OG, Jeffrey Archer. I read the fifth book that we're talking about now. So that is basically Over My Dead Body by Jeffrey Archer. Okay, now Jeffrey Archer is the OG in murder mystery genre. We just cannot review his book. He is pure excellence, supreme. So this is exactly how I felt after reading this book. Now this is my first experience with Jeffrey Archer. Okay, I have seen this book, seen his books around my house because my mom is a fan of Jeffrey Archer. So he has always been a familiar author, but it was my first time that I read his book, and it is amazing, amazing. The narration, the plot, the end drama, the conclusion, the fact that there is no loose end, it is superb. You love it. You love the book. The only thing is that initially when I started reading, there were so many characters coming. I was just lost that who is John, who is A, who is O. I mean, it just gets, names after names. The names just kept adding up. So I was a little confused. I was like, oh my god, this book really needs concentration. It is like I have to really be cautious when I read. But eventually you just get to know who is who, and eventually it just gets into the sync. So it's nothing to be panicky about like I was. So that is absolutely not needed. Other than that, this book is really good. Definitely one should read it, because come on, he is the best. When you talk about murder mystery books, Jeffrey Archer is definitely one of the 5 names that will come up in your mind, that should come up in your mind. The other mystery book that I happened to read is basically A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. So basically this is a trilogy. So this was actually given to me by my friend on my birthday, and she said that she is gifting me this book because it is in her to be read list. Anyways, so I read the first part. I've just read the first part as of now. It is an amazing story. It is new. Why, I'll tell you. So basically, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is a story of a girl who is in school, and she has a high school project, and she takes up a open and a shut case to solve in the school project, because she somehow has a feeling, somehow has a gut feeling, instinct, that the decision that was taken in that open and shut case is incorrect, is wrong, and she might be able to find the truth. Hence, she takes up this case. Okay, adding to the newness of this book is basically the way the narration has been done and the layout. Okay, there are basically some snippets of the evidence, some snippets of chats, some snippets of emails. So that keeps, it feels like as if you are also solving the case along with the protagonist. Then it is pacey, it is engaging, it is new. I love the concept that it is new, and I somehow love the books that have a female lead as the protagonist. I mean, I love it when when the female is courageous, determined, clear. So this is also a good read. I'm very happy, very satisfied, and very thankful to my friend for such a beautiful birthday gift. Loved it. Coming back to the mythological genre, we have The War of Lanka by Amish Tripathi. Now this is basically a part of Ramchandra series, which is a 4-part books, and The War of Lanka happens to be the 4th part. First is Ram, second is Sita, third is Ravan, and fourth is War of Lanka. So the fourth part, War of Lanka, I read in the month of January, and to be very honest, I have never been so disappointed by A, mythological genre, and B, by Amish Tripathi. I have been, I mean, I can say it vocally, loud, clear, that I am let down for the first time by his work of art. I mean, the War of Lanka is vague, it is unclear. I get it, it is fiction. I get it that it is nothing, or it would not be exactly what the mythological saga Ramayana is. I get it. It is fiction. I know. But I mean, what I cannot stand is the vagueness and the fact that how the story has been dragged, literally pulled, and it has become stretchy. It is slow. It is repetitive, and it just kills the vibe. I mean, the story does not just kill Ravan, it also kills the vibe and the excitement the reader has basically picked up this book. Everything goes just down. It is not a good book, trust me. I mean, I have never been so disappointed. I have read Ram, I have read Ravan. I'm yet to read Sita from this series. Ravan is so good, so good. It is so pacey. Even Ram is good. But I don't know, the War of Lanka had to be such an eventful story, eventful part, eventful book. But it is not. I am really upset, really sad. This book just did not do well for me, and but I am really hopeful for I am yet to read Sita, so hoping that will be a good book, and also hopeful to try different books by Amish Tripathi. For the book number 8, we have The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This book is basically a very short read, about 150-200 pages. It is a fiction book, but it has elements of non-fiction. Now, by that I mean it narrates a story of a young boy who is in search of his own treasure, and he encounters various situations. He learns various things in his journey, and everything he learns is more or less like a life lesson that we all need to, or we all should try to incorporate in our lives. And in the end, the ultimate goal of the boy, which was to find his own treasure, that phrase, that find your own treasure, that phrase, the meaning of that phrase and the value, the depth of that phrase is what is summarized and what is beautifully explained by the end of the book. So it is a fiction book, but it is disguised more or less of a, and has a narration more or less of a non-fiction. It is a different read, a very I mean, you wouldn't, you pick it up, you'll be like, oh, it's a very thin book, I'll read it in a week or so. But no, I mean, there are some pages when you will read, you will shut the book and you will think that, oh my god, I mean, what did I just read? It is a very beautiful read, like I said, and very different, very inspiring, and it teaches a lot. It teaches a lot. The phrases are beautiful. I'm planning to drop a video on those phrases, because throughout the book there are lovely phrases that I have written down while reading, and I would love to share it with you all. The 10th and the 11th book that we talk about are a part of a 5-book series, and I am sure most of you have read or heard about it. It is the Akotar series by Sarah J. Maas. I have read the first part, which is A Coat of Thorns and Roses, and the second part, which is A Coat of Mist and Fury. The genre is romance and fantasy. It is filled with sorcery, it is filled with action. But the highlight for me is the protagonist Farah. Again, now come on, I'm repeating myself, but the fact that a strong, courageous, determined woman is the protagonist is the highlight of the book and the series. Though I am yet to read the third, fourth, and fifth part of the series, but I am damn sure it is going to be good because the build up, the narration, and the story so far in the first and the second part of the series is amazing. It is spellbound. I mean, I thought only Harry Potter series can do justice to magic, but no. Akotar series can also do justice to magic. It has changed my perception. So basically, this is a story of where a girl, Farah, she is a mortal human being like you and me. It is her journey from being a mortal to an immortal. So everything, the drama, the magic, it is full of it, and it is really good. It has a tinge of romance and a tinge of dark romance as well. So it offers different spectrums of different genres, and it is a pure work of art. It is amazing. The hype of this book, the series, is way too much. I mean, in my Instagram is full with Tamlin, Farah, and Ryson's edit, and it is good. It is really good. I've loved it. The part one, Akotar, was about 300 pages. Part two was double 600 pages. And I'm yet to read part three, but then I have heard that it is the thickest book of all the five parts. So I don't know. I'm looking forward. I hope I'll get to read the third part this year itself, and then I'll obviously give you guys a review about it. Looking forward, definitely, because see, magic, I mean, something, a book, I mean, just imagine a book that offers you magic, action, love, drama, chemistry, romance. It is something which is next to impossible. It is something which comes once in a decade or anything. So yes, I would strongly recommend it. It is really good. It is a little descriptive, of course, because it makes you imagine a world which is beyond imagination. So it definitely is descriptive, but it is worth the read every page. I mean, these two parts, like almost read 1000 pages of this series. So it is incredible. I love it, and I would really want to watch a series or a movie on it someday. Please, some director, please listen to me because it would be really good on the celluloid. Uh, Other than that, I think I love it, and you guys should read it. I mean, don't go ki are 900 pages kaun padega. It's way too big and everything. Take your time, read aram se, but do read it. It is really good. Akotar series is fab. For the last book, the 12th book, this book also, I'm sure many of you all would have read it or would have heard about it. Through Instagram or through Twitter, but this book is really famous. It is Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carton. Now, this is a two-part series book. First is Haunting Adeline, second is Hunting Adeline. I have just read the first part, Haunting Adeline. It is wow. Wow. Now, this is the genre which is dark romance, but this is the darkest shade of gray. I mean, you just can't imagine what's next. I mean, for me, who personally would want to read something which is a soft romance, if at all I want to read romance, but this book has made me tempt to read more dark romance books. It is incredible. It's basically, this is a story of a young author, Adeline, who shifts to her grandmother's place, house, and then this is a story about her stalker turning her lover, and something spooky happening parallelly. So it is a really good book, really good book. It has not it doesn't have shades of gray like many people would say. It has the darkest shade of gray throughout the book. You have to read it now. So the second part, Hunting Adeline, I have not yet read it. Basically the first part ends at a cliffhanger, so you guys might be wondering why did I not read it. Because my friend told me that she and I have to read it together. So we both have not read it, but it is incredible. The book is really good. In fact, I'll tell you what, this was the first book that I have read in 2024. So when you read this book, you have all the rights to judge me that Divya, did you just start your year by reading this book? Yes, I did. And I am madly, crazily in love with Zaid Meadows. He is incredible, different level. You have to read this Haunting Adeline and Hunting. I have not read Hunting Adeline, but I am still recommending it. That itself proves I am so awestruck. Wow, that was something, isn't it? These were the 12 books that I have read so far on various genres. I was dying literally to share it with you all. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. This is the first video that I have made of this kind, more like a book haul video. I would really like if you guys subscribe to my channel and share this video, and more importantly, like I always say, don't forget to read. But before we go, I would also like to share the current books that I'll be reading. So basically, like I told in my video, that uh, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson is a trilogy. It's a 3-part series book. So the first part I have read. So second and the third part I'll be reading. So this is in my TBR, like immediate TBR. So this I'll be reading next. Then that, after getting severely disappointed by War of Lanka, I really wanted to read something good in mythology. So I've got the Kalki trilogy by Kevin Missel. So this is a trilogy on the last avatar of Vishnu. So this I'll be reading. I don't know how it is. I've read the reviews. Reviews are really good, and I wanted to read something on Kalki. There is a lot of content on Kalki out there. I just happened to take this book because based on the reviews. So I'll be reading this extremely opposite genre, murder mystery mythology, in my immediate TBR as of now. Also, I've started reading comics like Chacha Chaudhary, Tinkle. So I'll be sharing snippets of those comics on my Instagram and YouTube. Go follow me on YouTube, on my Instagram as well, for those beautiful little snippets of those comics. Even Archie's. Oh yes, I've even started reading the Archie comics, just as a fun read. So that would be going on. Also, I am planning to read something in non-fiction. So it would be a big help if you guys could suggest me something in non-fiction. I have read things in non-fiction. I've read content of non-fiction, but I've never been fascinated towards it. But so I want to try again, sincerely this time. So I think The Alchemist has made me realize that I think I can read something in non-fiction as well. So do recommend some good content of non-fiction in the comment section below, and I would see you all again really soon with a book review or a poetry video or something on words. You never know, it's a surprise. You can even tell me, right? You can even tell me what video would you want next. I'll try to make that. So until then, do share, like, comment on the video. This is a long video and I'm really happy if you guys could make it till here. It means a lot to me. So just because you have made it till here, you should comment that I made it till the end. It will mean a lot to me. And do subscribe to my channel. Share the channel with your friends, family, colleagues. It is a different channel, it is a niche channel regarding books, literature. So I think it should reach the mass, it should reach the students, it should reach the college people, it should reach your colleagues as well. And this is Divya Gupta signing off. We meet soon, stay tuned.